Hey there, today we're going to make a lavender wreath. We're starting with a 14-inch grapevine and of course some beautiful lavender. So let's get going. As with most of my grapevines, I purchased this from Michael's and I've already gone ahead and cleaned it up and prepped it for the florals. The lavender I will link down for you in the description. Here I've cut up some of the pics and I'm just showing you that one of the lavender pieces fell off, but I will fix that in a moment. If you wanted to add some greenery, you can add something like this ruscus that has small leaves, and that would look really nice with the lavender. But for today, I'm just using all lavender. So I'm going ahead and replacing that little lavender piece onto this little branch. I'm going to use my hot glue gun to add all the stems into the green of the grapevine. And you'll see that I use probably about 3 picks to cover across the grapevine. So here I'm adding one towards the outside. The second one I'll add towards the inside, and the third one I'll add just in the middle. So going around the grapevine, that will do a pretty good job of covering the entire thing. So I just try to do my best in adding into the green and not having too many stems poking out the back. I do always go back, check the back, and if anything's poking out, I'll trim it up and just have a nice clean back. So I'm just going to speed this up a little bit while you watch the process. And I will say these lavender came from Walmart, from online. I think they do sell some in the store, but if you need a lot, it's nice to purchase it online, like a bulk purchase. It turns out to be a better deal that way. And these do have like a they're like frosted, so when I received these I did shake them out, and then that did cause some of the little lavender pieces to fall out, but it was easy enough to replace them or glue them back in if I needed to. So I'm just working my way through here. And if you're not familiar with this channel, this is Michelle from Lavender Crafts, and thank you so much for joining me. So although this grapevine base is 14 inches, the wreath does build out to about 22 inches. So it's a nice size for a regular sized door. And this is what my husband calls a hurricane wreath. So in the end, it kind of looks like the swirl of a hurricane. And most of the wreaths that I do are the crescent style, where some of the grapevine is showing, but it is always nice to do something different, like in this case. I am using Gorilla brand glue sticks in my glue gun, and that's probably the best glue stick that I'm aware of. It's a little pricier, but it does ensure a nice secure hold. So as I'm reaching the end of the wreath with filling in with the lavender stems, I will say that I had used probably between 18 and 19 stems. Now I'm adding a bow. So I'm using this ribbon. It came from Sam's Club last year. So it's a 1.5-inch ribbon, and it's got a really nice wire to it. I don't know if you can tell, but it's got small purple florals on it. So it made a really nice, it was a really nice complement to the lavender. So I measured out about a 10-inch tail. My loops are 6 inches. So I'm just pinching in the middle and twisting to make the next loop. And this is going to be a 4-loop bow. This bow maker that I'm working on, it's very similar to an easy bow maker. You can find it on Amazon. So here is the last tail, and I'm just trimming it just roughly the same length as my first tail. And I'm going to use some floral wire to secure the middle of my bow. So I just wrap the floral wire around and then twist it in the back to secure the bow. The loose wires in the back of the bow, I use to work those through the grapevine, and that's how I attach my bow onto the wreath. So I'm just finding a good spot there to push my floral wire through the grapevine, and then I flip it over to the back and I can tie the wires around the vines of the wreath. I'll just give it a couple twists and then make sure to tuck the wire back in through the grapevine just so it's not poking anything. And I just adjust my bow, just make sure it looks okay. So once I got the wreath onto this little wreath stand, I could see that it needed a couple of spots filled. There were a few places where I could see the grapevine. So I did go in with probably 2 more sprays of the lavender, and I just filled in some of the bare spots, and I also made sure that the wreath looked nice and round. So if there was anywhere in around the perimeter that needed to be filled out a little bit, I did that. And here I'm just trimming up my bow tails. So in the end, I did use about 21 picks, 21 of the lavender sprays, I believe. So you'll have to tell me what you think of this wreath, if you like the lavender by itself, if you would have added greenery. I hope that you enjoyed watching this. I hope you learned something new. And here's the wreath. I appreciate you following my channel, and like, share, and turn on your notifications so you don't miss any more crafty ideas. Thanks for watching.